Break out the brooms. The Phillies are back. The Phillies are playing April baseball well, and they get another sweep in an 8-2 win against the bum White Sox. What's going on, everybody? Eric here with the 302 Birds post-game show, breaking down the game today. And what another great win. What another great outing for our starting pitching. And what a game for our players at the base. We're going to break all that down for you here tonight. We're going to go ahead and get started with our starters. Our starters are absolutely on fire right now. Nola goes out tonight for 7 innings pitched. 7 innings. That is the third consecutive start with a Phillies starter going 7 or more innings. Nola tonight, if I can look it up real quick. Nola tonight against the White Sox goes for 8 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, lets up 1 home run, 1 walk, and has 7 strikeouts for an ERA of 3.16. Absolutely fantastic start. Again, though, like I always say when Nola comes up to pitch, he does let up another home run. Can't really fault him there, though. Dude's just a meatball machine, unfortunately. But what's going on, Dalt?
How are you? What a
I'm
time
good,
to be
man.
alive, like you said. I love how you put it earlier. Playing April baseball well.
Dude, I mean, they're just playing well. I mean, right now, the last 5 starts for the Phillies pitchers, they have 41 strikeouts and a .25 ERA.
That's fucking nuts.
A .25 ERA. That's nothing right now, dude. No MLB team in recorded history has had a 5-game span where their starters have struck out so many batters and had such a low ERA doing it. We have the second lowest ERA right now. We overtook the Royals. Right now, the lowest ERA is the Red Sox at a 1.71. We're sitting at a 2.25, and the Royals are right behind us at a 2.77.
So they're going to be back into it soon. I mean, like you said, though, last night it was a little bit tough. I think we all wanted to see that Wheeler no-hitter. But, I mean, just the way that this guy's been playing, this unit's been playing. I know I said it last night during the show, and I'll say it again. These pitchers rub off each other. The energy's there. The vibe is there. And when one guy plays well, it seems like they all feed off of that. And like Star Wars 99 said, once again, happy birthday to the Fanatic. I think that they feed off of that as well, too. I think that the whole stadium had a little bit of hey, let's do some stuff. Let's do some good for the Fanatic. I know Kyle Schwarber definitely did. I'm sure we'll get to all that in a second. But, I mean, as far as pitching goes, because I don't want to, overshadow that, it's been a night and day difference. And as a Phillies fan, it's been amazing to see. I just hope that it keeps up.
Dude, I mean, going back to the Fanatic's birthday, and I don't know if you saw, they were wearing the batting practice hats today with the creamsicle jerseys. I think they should just keep that for the rest of the season. It looks amazing.
I'm with it. It looks great. I noticed it too, and as soon as I saw it, at first I almost thought that somebody else, I forget what player it was I saw that had on the hat, and I was like, okay, maybe they're just being a rebel. Maybe they forgot their hat. And then I saw that, or it was the pitcher. It was Nola, actually. I was like, okay, maybe he's just rocking it, you know what I mean, like a locker. And then I saw the whole team had it on, and I was like, oh, okay, it's the Fanatic's birthday. It's a tribute to the Fanatic. It clicked to El Amateur. But moreover, I'm with you, dude. I mean, those uniforms with the cream, with that hat, that is an elite jersey combo, and I hope that that's not the last time we see it.
I mean, it makes me think of the lower level teams like AAA, AA, with their wacky designs on their uniforms. It almost makes it feel like the White Sox got beat by a AAA team. I mean, swept. Yeah. I mean, honestly, this is what I wanted from the Phillies in April baseball. You need to take advantage of these games now and get these games out of the way so that way later down the stretch you're not worried about, granted you're going to have to win games on the stretch, but you can take a step back and be like, okay, if we lose this one, it's not that big of a deal. We have some kind of a cushion to fall back on. One thing I do want to talk about though here for a second is that Taijuan Walker actually had his last rehab assignment today, and he's scheduled to come back here in the next couple of games, probably sometime this week. The only thing I want to talk about, though, is his final line in his rehab game 3 today against the Yankees AAA affiliate. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want Walker in our starting rotation. His line today in his game, he had 97 pitches. He went for 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, and only had 1 strikeout. That's not great. And I really, really don't want him coming in and ruining what we already have in this elite starting rotation that we have with our top 5. Again, like I've been saying, like I've been stressing, and Rob, I hope someone shows you this. Do not put Walker in the starting rotation. Have him as a reliever. If you want him as a closer, whatever, I'll take it. But do not put him in the starting 5, because it's just going to throw everything off. Like Dalt said last night, they feed off of each other. And I think if you put Walker in, it's gonna fuck everything up. And like Sam Nelson said, yeah, I don't want Walker back in the rotation. Turnbull's too good. He has a 1.23 ERA right now. Dude is he's painting the zone every time he comes up. Everybody that's coming up, and we have Ranger tomorrow against the Reds. Everybody coming up is just painting right now. They are absolutely dealing, absolutely on fire, and I just don't want that to end.
It seems like they found their mojo, man. You hit the nail on the head, and don't throw a fucking wrench in the mix. I love that we're all in agreement of that. That's the last thing that you should do. Baseball's 100% a momentum sport, and I think that everybody's comments are great right now, too. It's glad to see that a lot of people are in agreement, too. I'm not saying that Walker's a bad player. I'm just more saying that it's like, hey, we have some of these other players that are playing really well. Let's not take them out of the mix. If they start to slow down, or if momentum starts to slow down, that's a different conversation. But let's cross that bridge when we get there. Like, why are we going to make that conversation? You know what I mean? So, Steven, we aren't looking for any podcasters at the moment. I'm sorry. The only way you can put them back in the rotation. Yeah, and I like the rotation that the Phillies have right now. I think that they found their way. They found their gel. They seem to found what works for them. And this has been some of the best Phillies pitching I think I've ever seen throughout my entire life. I don't know if you want to speak to that too, Eric. But
yeah, I mean, like I said, what was it, last night or the night before when we were talking? I think this is the best starting rotation since 2011. And I honestly can't think of another rotation in my lifetime, and you and I are both 25 this year. I can't think of another rotation right now that has just been lights out at like we have now. But going back to Sam Nelson's comment here, I don't even think we really need a 6-man rotation. Maybe towards the playoffs, just to give guys more rest in the playoffs, like kind of like what we did last year. I think we had Lorenzen come in as a 6-man. But I mean, like, we just don't need a 6-man rotation right now. We're dealing with 5. We're absolutely on fire with 5. And I just hope Rob kind of sees that and doesn't look at the, what is it? I don't even know like what he looks at. He looks at like the analytics and the statistics or whatever. I understand you're paying Walker a decent amount of money, but like, who cares about money right now? I mean, honestly. But on that note, I think, the thing that excites me the most tonight is that our batting, except for Nick Castellanos as normal, our batting absolutely ramped up tonight. I mean, everybody was hitting. Everybody looked amazing. The only person that didn't hit, like I said, was Nick Castellanos. I think most people had 1 to 3 hits. If I'm looking here, trying to pull it up and I can't find it, but whatever. But I think most people had 1 to 3 hits. I think the most was Bowen with 3. I think most people had 1 to 2 hits. Nick Castellanos, again, 0.
And it is what it is. I mean, it's the beginning of the season. He has, like we've said, inconsistent games. I know I said it the other night. I was like, all right, let's not get too excited because there's going to be a down game, and sure as shit, here they are. But moreover, it's okay, Phillies, just hang on, play good baseball as a team. And that's what they're doing right now. They're playing good baseball as a team, finding ways to win these games. Everybody's not going to be hot every day. Everybody's not going to come out and hit a home run every day. So you got to figure out, okay, who can get hot for us here? Who can do this there? It's nice to see Marsh really take a step forward as a leader this year. Boom, too, and Stott. I mean, all of the guys from the daycare really, really taking a step up. But also the veterans being able to lean on them when we can. Today, Kyle Schwarber giving the Fanatic the best birthday gift a man can give the Fanatic, a homer at home. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that Phillies fans love to see. So they got to keep the bats hot, though, because the MLB, especially nowadays, is a league, like I've said in the past, where you got to put up 5 runs a game. So if you're not putting up 5, 6 runs a game, I mean, consistently, I'm not saying that there's games like today where you play teams like the White Sox, but every team that you play is not going to be the White Sox or the Pirates or the Rockies. So you got to get ready to play some of those bigger league teams, especially if you want to finish this year like us Phillies fans want you to finish. I mean, God forbid, please don't put us through that pain again, right? Right, Aaron?
Right. So I'm looking at the stats here. Schwarber has 1 hit, Turner has 1, Harper 1, Realmuto 1, Bone 3, Marsh 1, Nick big fat 0, Stott 1, and Rojas 2. I want to take a second though and talk about Rojas. Rojas has shown major adjustments, and I'm really happy for the kid because he's exactly what we need in the last 3 of our lineup. He has a 3-game hitting streak. He's batting 400, 471, 467, and .3937 the last 7 days, excluding today's game. So, I mean, like, he's on an absolute tear right now. The other person on an absolute tear that Sam Nelson is bringing up is Trey Turner. Trey Turner's on an absolute tear right now. Dude is looking like World Baseball Classic Trey, looking like the guy that we paid $300 million for. And I think that's great. I think he's finally starting to feel comfortable playing in Philly compared to last season when we brought him in. And he just didn't look comfortable until we gave him that standing ovation. And with a really top-heavy lineup, you know, Kyle going more so for the long ball. Harper can hit long or short depending on, you know, what's at stake. But I think Trey's that perfect guy in the top 3 to kind of put the ball in play and not really worry about, okay, maybe I need to hit a home run here, or maybe I need to do something major to get my team up. And I'm really happy that Trey is finally, you know, he's finding his comfortability. He's finding where he needs to belong. And I think that's absolutely great.
Yeah, it's nice to see him bounce back, like you said. I mean, he's found his home, and he's found his confidence. And baseball's such a big sport where you got to have confidence when you walk up to the plate. You got to feel like you know what you're doing. You got to have a game plan. You got to have an end vision. And you got to, like, literally manifest yourself seeing sometimes that hit. I am not a baseball player. I respect baseball players because, like I said, baseball is one of those sports where it's much mental as it is physical. So you really, really have to be mentally tough and be able to, you know, hold your composure and also keep that mindset. That's one thing, even though Nick frustrates us, I will give Cassie credit on. I think Cassie does have the ultimate dog mindset that you need to have as a player, which is confidence at all times. Sometimes to a player's detriment, of course. But for the most part, you want a player that doesn't, you know, sweat the small things, that can shrug it off. So it's nice to see a lot of the Phillies as a whole, too, come back with that confidence this year. As a whole, too.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever watch some of like Nick's interviews or just like him speaking, just the way that he speaks and the way that he understands the game of baseball as a whole is just like fantastic. He has like the greatest understanding of the game and what's going on during the game. And just like, you know, he's a great guy all around. I just wish he would produce more. I think that's the only issue that I have. But I definitely agree with you, Sam. If they can definitely become a better situational hitting team, yeah, I mean, they could be a clear favorite for the World Series. I don't really think, especially, you know, talking about earlier with our starting 5, I mean, if the starting five can keep that throughout the season, there's nobody that can really top us right now other than the Braves. But we all know what's happened the last two seasons to the Braves in the postseason. We absolutely whooped their ass. So I mean, yeah, I just hope that this continues. They're playing great April ball, and hopefully they continue it through May. But because they're playing great situational ball, they have back-to-back sweeps. The Rockies came in, we swept them. White Sox, everybody kind of expected them to sweep. So I mean, there's really no surprise there that we swept. But again, with these sweeps, it's getting us more and more into a spot where we can overtake that number one spot. And again, I know I keep preaching this to the choir, but I think all of us in Philly going into this season were expecting us to be able to overtake the Braves. And like JT said earlier in the season when they interviewed him in the locker room, he's tired of being number two. He's tired of seeing the Braves win back-to-back, division titles or taking the division or whatever. And I really think this is the Phillies' year, with a lot of players in our division getting down and injured, like Spencer Turnbull. I think it's our time to be number one, and I really think we can do that.
I love the meme, and it makes me think of this right now with the Phillies. I want you to tell the world we back up. That's how the Phillies feel right now. I mean, I asked in the group chat, and you said since 2022 was the last time that they've done this. So 2022, what happened, guys? Phillies went to the World Series. Just saying. No, in all seriousness, though, the Phillies are looking like they are a more confident team, and I think that that's why you're seeing this. I think everybody's starting to settle in more, from Trey Turner to Philly Rob to Bryce Harper, even though he's been here for so long. I think it's like, okay, he's accepting that role of first base, being the veteran. Like, even after that play last night, I heard it when I was listening to the game today. They're saying, he's upset with himself and he's mad at himself for that play. And that play was pretty much near impossible if you were watching the game. It was just unlucky. I mean, it's a very tough play to make. I'll leave it at that. So to see Bryce Harper just hold himself to that accountability, it's like, dude, Jesus. Like, this guy is so locked in on being a good teammate, making sure that the Phillies end up in a good position to get a ring. I'm really confident in the team right now, Eric, and what a time to be alive as a Phillies fan.
Yeah, and I mean, like, kind of going back to the whole World Series thing, I think, honestly, my whole thing right now is when you really think about it and break it down, in 2022, Stott and Bohm were kind of more so rookies. I mean, they weren't really comfortable in the postseason. And I think that's kind of part of the reason why we lost. I think last year's issues were more so just batting issues. I don't think that, they were really hot to end the year. And then they're coming into this year, absolutely on a tear. And I think, again, if they can continue that, they'll make it into the postseason and hopefully make it back to that World Series, because I think it was either Middleton or Dombrowski in spring training. They said, get our fucking ring back. They said he was like, I want my ring back. And I think we can do that this year. I really do.
That's the best quote ever, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like we need our ring back. We need to show the rest of the MLB that the Phillies are not somebody that, will lay down and go quietly.
Yeah.
But to kind of close out tonight's show, just looking ahead, we play the Reds next, and the Reds right now are kind of a hot team. I don't really think it's going to be as easy as the White Sox or the Rockies were. Right now, the Reds are, I can look, they're 12-9, so they're right there with us. They're kind of on our level. We're 14-8. Again, sitting right behind the Braves. And I can go ahead and, like I always do, go ahead and show the standings. But yeah, so I mean, so Braves are 14-5. We're 14-8. We really need the Braves to start losing some games. I mean, to put it simply, really need them to start losing some games. We're 1.5 games back still. Mets are 2.5 games back. Nationals 5, and the Marlins 10. I'm not really worried about the Marlins or the Nationals. I mean, they're kind of here and there. I'm more so worried about the Mets being right behind us just because they are 12 and 8. But again, the Reds are 12 and 9. So we're going into a away streak right now. We're going on the road to play the Chicago Reds. So I mean, or sorry, Cincinnati Reds. I don't know why I said Chicago, but but whatever. And you know, they're really great. They have De La Cruz. He's a great ball player. He's really fast on the bases. They have some really great ball players, and I think that they need to keep what they're doing now. Use that momentum going into the next stretch of games, just so that way we can again win games, overtake the Braves, and have a good lead going into the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think that it's going to be a tougher series. It's going to be tougher than the past three teams that we played: the Rockies, the Pirates, and obviously the White Sox. The White Sox being kind of the laughing stock of the MLB. Sorry to my White Sox fans out there. I know Connors won, so I apologize for that. But moreover, I do want to say I do think that the Phillies will respond accordingly. I think that it's going to be a tough series, but I think that they'll show up. I think that if they can at least win two at it, is it a 3-game series or a 4-game?
So the Reds, so we have the Reds, then the Padres, then the Angels. The Reds are a 4-game series, Padres are a 3-game, and Angels are a 3-game.
Yeah, so in my opinion, I think if the Phillies can, get a majority of those wins, I'm happy as a Phillies fan. So let's see what we can do, Phils.
Yeah, and I mean we don't come back home until May 3rd. So we're away, for about a week and a half. But I mean, on that note, some players do play better away. If you look at JT Realmuto, he's a better ball player when he's away than he is home. So I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing him play. Looking forward to him, tearing it up. But yeah, I mean, on that note, that's really all we have for tonight. Happy birthday, Fanatic! Thank you, Kyle Schwarber, for that great birthday present to the Fanatic. And yeah, I mean, hopefully the Phillies keep this up and play some more great April ball.
Yeah, happy birthday, Fanatic. I mean, that's all I got to say. And thank you to Eric. And if you guys are enjoying this series, please make sure to drop a like, a follow. Eric's been doing a great job being consistent with these. I really appreciate it. So if you guys are liking these post games, I know our subscribers have been going up. So there's definitely some of you guys out there. There's 6 of you guys tuned in right now. Please be sure to drop a thumbs up, a follow, whatever outlet you're on as a thank you. Go Phils. Happy birthday, Fanatic. I'll kick it to Eric.
On that note, bye.